Hello, forever friends and family. Happy new 2022. Today is January 10th, 2022. Second Monday of 2022. And I would like to welcome everybody to our webinar. And the subject of our webinar is the most beautiful business on earth, the book written by #1 forever business owner, Rolf Kipp. Isaac, please confirm what you see on the screen and how does it sound?
Sounds very good, and I see the book cover.
Excellent, thank you. I'm going to switch the image or picture on the screen because I prepare some surprise for everybody, and I would like to share this information with everybody regarding Darren Hardy, which I consider very, very valuable for us. Just give me 1 second, please. Isaac, I need your confirmation for a second.
I see Darren.
Okay, let's go confirm about sound in a second. Our sound?
Sounds good.
Okay, let's move on. Thanks.
And now, finishing our special series called 22 Lessons Leading into 22 is our final lesson of all, Lesson 22, my one word or strategy for 2022. So in setting my goals and designing my year, I like to focus on a single word or phrase, or what I call a theme for the year. The one word or phrase can represent an outcome like 1 billion lives, or passionately engaged, or impact, or growth, or excellence, all previous themes from years prior. It can represent a general state of mind, like joy, which was my word last year, or bold, which is Kylie's word this year, or discomfort, which is Carla's word, or powerful, which is Allie's, or words like unstoppable, or vivacious, or badass, or compassion, or balance, or unapologetic, or present, or peace. Or it can be a specific principle or strategy that I will use to produce the desired outcomes or state of mind that I seek for the year, like less is more, which is one of my previous themes, or bigger, easier, which was a couple of years' themes, or even better every day. That came out of a yearly theme that I had. Or discipline is Sabrina's word for the year, or pushing through is Ashley's phrase, or JFDI is Maggie's. Apparently it was inspired by her Peloton instructor. I don't know exactly what it means. You'll have to ask her. Or words like simplify, or mastery, or consistency, or prune, right, Mark? Or adventurous, or self-care. So this episode is about my words and the strategy that I will use to significantly grow all my vital metrics this year. My business, my relationships, fitness, learning, lifestyle, and more. So I share this with you in the hopes that it will help you pick your word or strategy, or help you use my word and strategy to accelerate your own result in some way, be it your theme or not. Okay, so my word is leverage. The official definition of the word is the use of something small to gain a very high return, or the use of small resources, time, attention, effort, or money, to gain an exponential return in time, freedom, or money. You see, it requires that I find the small hinges that disproportionately, based on size, swing the big doors of results. It's the Pareto principle, but super jacked up on steroids. Not just finding the 20% of causes that produce 80% of the effects or results, but finding the 20% of the 20% of the 20%, the 0.8%, or let's just round up to the 1% of activities, tasks, functions, resources that when applied, delivers a 4,000% return on capital, time, energy, and effort. And once I discover my word or theme or strategy for the year, then I figure out how to apply that to 10 specific areas in my life. And so this turns a nice word or a fluffy sounding theme and it turns it into an action plan, one that I can track right here in my Living Your Best Year Ever record, one that is measured and held accountable. So to give you an example, okay, I'll just use my word and then I'll briefly walk you through my 10 applications of leverage, okay? So number one is people. I am no longer going to tolerate average performance of the people around me. Doing so has continually required me stepping in to bring it up to my must-have standard of excellence. This has been costing me time, energy, and sanity. And it's my fault, nobody else's, because I have tolerated. So I will hire several more really expert people to come in and shake things up a bit. This is not only inside my business, but it is also outside my business as well. Great people are great leverage. They can produce at least 20 times their cost and save you a hell of a lot of pain and buy you a hell of a lot of sanity. Number two, goals. People often set the wrong goals. Goals that, if accomplished, don't really move the needle of their life. They don't deliver an exponential return of money or freedom or lifestyle or impact or joy, peace, or soulful fulfillment. Most are, well, so what? Or what for goals. The key here is to set very few goals, 3 max. But these are what we call banner goals. The kind, when achieved, would make this year undoubtedly your best year ever. Not in just one area of your life, but in all areas that are the most important to you. Number 3 are projects. Not all projects, initiatives, or good ideas are actually good. Everything costs you. Most things cost too much. Vet everything through the FEP filter. Fast, easy, profitable. Eliminate most every other project, but the few major projects. Then do those one at a time and do them with excellence. Those are your small hinges that swing the big doors of results. There's only one mission: win the championship, or that is achieving your big 3 banner goals. That's it. Only those things that significantly contribute to the achievement of one of those 3 banner goals gets on the project board. Everything else goes into the devil's vortex, even if it's a good idea, even if it could be profitable. If it's not going to be significantly contributing to the achievement of one of those 3 goals, it doesn't get on the board. Number 4, relationships. This is focusing on the few, the most important, right, in each area of your life, and then diminish or dismiss the rest. Leverage is not just about elimination. It is also, and in some cases, most importantly, about what you double down on, those few. I guarantee you are not investing enough into those few relationships that do bring you the most value. I know that I haven't been, and I intend to change it this year. Number 5, fitness. Focus on just a few, and then do those few intensely and consistently. 6 is diet. Focus on the few principles, and then stick to them intensely and consistently. Forget what you won't eat. Just focus on what you will eat. Don't even negotiate with terrorists. Pretend that you are allergic to all the rest, because in a way, by your consequences, you are. And number 7, environment. Your environment has a huge influence on your day-over-day performance. You want to optimize your environment for high performance and for sane living. In your work environment, find a few things that can significantly increase your concentration and deep work the most, and then eradicate anything and everything that can break your focus. In your living environment, radically optimize it for calm, for peace, for joy, and mental revitalization. Clutter and visible piles of unfinished or awaiting projects or obligations makes your home a psychological hell. This is why so many people struggled during COVID lockdowns, because their homes were not mentally and emotionally safe and calm environment. And number 8 is learning. Now, I learned a lot. I mean, a lot. And that's great. I have to, as this is what I do for work, as you can see, but I'm going to double down on the few training programs that really matter the most. Oddly enough, because of the being the best of everything that I've ever learned or curated from the entire industry of human growth and development, I distilled down and packed into the hero's journey development cycle. All I need to do is to deepen my mastery in practicing what I already know is in there. So that is why I will be doing the program with all of you, actually doing the hero's journey cycle with you as intensely, if not more, because that's just the way I am, as I would be mentoring you through it. I'm kind of like the football coach who runs the wind sprints, runs every lap and every drill with the team, instead of just standing on the sideline, blowing a whistle and barking orders at you for you to work harder. The same is true for my business masterclass. The very best treasure I've ever captured from the best in the world in growing a high-performance business and building a high-performance team, I distilled down into that 4-day curriculum. It is constantly being improved and evolving as the world progresses and evolves as well. And at the same time, there are many of the key strategies that I have to be sure are applied and improved upon in my own business. I need to be sure that I am mastering my own program. So in finding leverage in my learning, I will be focusing my mastery in Hero's Journey and the strategy map delivered in our business masterclass. I hope that you'll be joining us for one or both of those this year. Now, number 9, MOVE, or what I call methods of operation. Quarterly, monthly, weekly, and daily. There are a few things in each of those operation methods that, when focused on and performed with consistency, massively improve my output in each of my key core categories. For instance, daily, my morning routine, my email rules, blocking 3 MVP jam sessions a day. Just being relentlessly consistent with those 3 daily moves radically increases my daily output. And I mean radically. I have a few monthly moves and quarterly and yearly moves as well. Number 10 is self-care. As you probably know, I'm 50. There's a lot more preventative self-care that is necessary when you hit the half-century mark. I know of too many people who have denigrated their body, health, and happiness just due to neglect, or lost their life because they didn't do the proper checkups. Aging is wonderful. I wouldn't trade my increasing wisdom for youth any day of the week. My intention is to continue to accelerate my wisdom growth, as is my life's hero's journey and learning adventure, and be the best steward I can of the temple that I have been bestowed. My mentor, Jim Rohn, would say, there's nothing more pitiful than a ready and willing mind, but an incapable body. Pitiful I will not be. So now you tell us which of the leverage points inspired you the most and will be the most valuable if you apply to your life. Click the poll link below to tell us, and then you'll be able to see what others thought and chose as well. And then tell us in the comments, which was your most favorite, why, and how you intend to apply it into your life.
Okay, that was Darren Hardy. I would like to promote him as a coach, speaker, motivator, and this man has a lot of knowledge to share with us. I subscribe for his website since 1918, and 3 years in a row, I received emails from Monday to Friday, except weekend, every week, 3 or 5 a.m. with some news and motivational and a lot of priceless information. And this year he started this session 5 days in a row. You could subscribe here on his website, and there are these 5 episodes from 1 to 5. Right here, you could watch it from scratch because his rule is very simple. Every new video up for only 72 hours. And again, I would like to welcome everybody to our webinar, and the title of the webinar, The Most Beautiful Business on Earth. Let me switch the screen. Isaac, please be ready to help me out. Let me know what do you see on the screen right now. Hold on for a second, please. Isaac?
I see people's names.
Okay, very good. Thanks. Hold on. How about now?
The cover.
Okay, here's the cover of the book. The title of the book is The Most Beautiful Business on Earth, and the author is Rolf Kipp, the #1 forever business owner in forever living history. And I would like to ask to continue to read this book, my friend and partner from Brooklyn, supervisor Isaac Gelbinovich, and also I encourage everybody to be ready to speak up at the later time when we open the session to exchange opinions, questions. But in the meantime, let's start it. And Isaac, please, the cover of the book, and then we will continue.
Sorry. Good evening, everybody. Rolf Kipp, The Most Beautiful Business on Earth, How to be Successful with Forever Living Products. Anything is possible. Are you looking to gain more from life? Do you have dreams and aspirations waiting to be fulfilled? Do you crave financial freedom and independence? Forever Living Products offers undreamed of opportunities and perspectives. Rolf Kipp has created the world's largest forever business with millions of sales partners in many countries on this planet. He has been the undisputed #1 at Forever for many years, and he is one of the Europe's most successful networkers. In 6 chapters, he describes the way he works and how this approach has taken him step by step to the top of Forever. His methods is easy and simple. The book will help establish a fast, easy, and uncomplicated entry to the business. It helps you reset your course in life. Your path to a more beautiful and better future is ready for you. Are you ready to make the most of this chance? Prologue. Dear readers, my name is Rolf Kipp.
Isaac, hold on for a second. Please read this part too.
This book is for my son, Robin. Robin's dedication and enthusiasm has motivated me to continue working and to persevere. Prologue. Dear readers, my name is Rolf Kipp. I am 49 years old and I led a normal life for a long time. That is until the day I was introduced to the most beautiful business on earth. That day changed my life forever. How might your life change after you read this book? I used to work in management at a large company 12 hours a day and 7 days a week. Today, I'm a multi-millionaire and I live a life that couldn't be any better. I'd like to tell you my story. It might sound unbelievable, yet every single word of it is true. I should encourage people who believe in themselves and their vision. Every one of us is special and wonderful, and we should all be allowed to live an extraordinary and great life. Life is not one long wish list. We have to accept that life on earth is never going to fulfill all our expectations. I've experienced hard times and had to overcome more than one hurdle. And there were times when no light flickered at the end of the tunnel. Why would I keep this from you? And yet, every crisis is also an opportunity to open more doors and create new possibilities. Have you been through tough times? Now it's time to turn things around. I want to share everything I know about the most beautiful business on earth with you. Ingenious business model. A day in June 1995 changed my life. I was on a business trip to Miami when I coincidentally stumbled upon an article about forever living. I can still remember the title. The steel giant continues to grow. The company has recently broken revenue records and was planning to expand to Europe. That sounded exciting and interesting. I have always had big ideas, aspirations, and dreams, and I was always fascinated with the finer things in life. And yet, I knew that I would never get them with the work I was doing back then. That made me even more receptive to new opportunities and new business ventures. I jumped at the opportunity when I came across Forever Living. The fantastic products and an ingenious business model offered a tempting opportunity to flee the constraints of my routine life. I had no choice but to grab the bull by its horns. Initially, multi-level marketing was a sideline, and after 1.5 years, it became my full-time job. My income grew steadily. Only 5 years on, I was a forever millionaire.
Isaac, hold on for a second, please. Excuse me. I would like to emphasize just this section. The day of June 1995 changed my life. There are some new people in the webinar today. I don't know all of you, but welcome again. New people, not from my team, it doesn't matter. I welcome everybody. But I just would like to emphasize that he joined the business Forever Living Products in 1995. Company was established on May 13, 1978. So 17 years later, company already has numbers of diamond managers when Rolf Kipp joined the business. And I just would like to tell you, this is a copy of my book. I scanned these pages for you. I want you not just to listen, to have a chance to read it on your own with the readers. It will be much more productive. That's why I made the scanner and I make a file that you would be able to see. And there are some my notes in the book. For example, this translation from English to Russian language, Быка-за-рога. He grabbed the choice, but grabbed the bull by its horns. Translation to Russian. Он взял быка-за-рога. And we will open the microphone for you later on, and you would be able to ask me or anybody else questions or exchange your opinion. Isaac, please go ahead.
Dreams and aspirations. Something that was so small in scale developed into the world's largest forever business with millions of sales partners in numerous countries around the globe. I generated the highest possible monthly multi-level marketing income that had ever been recorded in Europe. I was handed the largest profit-sharing check ever awarded in the history of Forever. And I'm one of the most successful European networkers. I founded that perfect business. I get to lead a life I wouldn't even have dreamed of in the past. I have the best of health, luxury cars, homes located in most beautiful places on earth, dream vacations around the globe, and time lots of time to enjoy life. Sometimes it occurs to me that I'm living a fairy tale that is real. Many of my dreams and aspirations that seem so far away have become reality. Undreamt of possibilities and horizons opened up. My dream of financial freedom and independence has come true. Have your dreams come true yet? What will life be like for you in the future? We're all architects of our future, is how the saying goes. When are you going to start building your happiness? I can help you make your dreams come true. The secret to success. Actually, it is simple. Most people already practice multi-level marketing without even knowing it. This business thrives off referrals. In fact, nearly all of us do it every single day. Let's say a friend of yours recently visited a newly opened restaurant. The food was incredible and the evening memorable. The next day, he tells you about it. Forever Living products work along the same lines. It is a referral business where people are delighted about a product and the business idea and then talk to other people about it. For more than 15 years, I have been recommending Forever Living products to people because they inspire me too. And I've been presenting a business model that still fascinates me to this day. That's my secret to success. And that is the same secret that has seen my climb to the peak of the Forever business. The crucial point is multi-level marketers are paid for their successful referrals. Others aren't. You think that sounds too easy. It is that easy. For this works if you can ever refer to it as work. You're not required to learn anything new. However, you should be enthusiastic and get along well with people. Only those that are truly interested in others will succeed in this line of business. The really fascinating things about multi-level marketing is the possibility to duplicate. As soon as you have set up your own sales partners, your work time is multiplied and you earned a passive income. It's an ingenious way to make money. You work an hour while 5 of your team is working at the same time and you get paid for 6 hours. Does that sound too good to be true? It is true. My story is living proof. Why this book? You are reading this book, and learning about the easiest business on earth. Every one of us can succeed with Forever Living. Still, not everyone knows how easy it really is. That's why I have decided to write it down. This is a book about really doing things and that tells the story about how I made my way to the top of Forever. It's a handbook that will help you to be successful as well. Trust my many years of experience with the best business model now and for the future. You don't have to reinvent the wheel. It has already been invented, the perfect system. You can all adopt it exactly the way it is. Only those that take the same steps as I did will achieve the same results as I did. The only difference is that I started 15 years ago, and ideally, you will start today. Naturally, there is no elevator that will take you to the top of Forever. You'll have to take the stairs. That is why this book described a modern approach to working. I'll tell you about what works in this business and what doesn't. I will tell you about my ups and downs, about my tears and smiles, and the price you have to pay. But I will also write about the once-in-a-lifetime chance of making the most out of your life. The chance to make your dreams come true with Forever has never been better than now. Walk with me off the beaten path. I invite you to join me on a journey of the world of tomorrow. Yours, Rolf Kipp.
Thank you, Isaac. Take a break for now, and I would like to ask to continue to read my friend and partner, manager from Brooklyn, Helen Osipov. Please go ahead.
Good evening, everybody. Thank you, Isaac. First chapter, how it all began, a difficult start. I will never forget my first meeting. It was on a cold and wet Sunday in February 1996. Dark clouds hung low over Frankfurt and the snow on the roads had turned into slush. The meeting was scheduled for 2 in the afternoon. I put on my best suit, My colleague and I were expecting more than 100 guests. A buffet was waiting for them as well. I was secretly expecting 150 people because only a few days ago had we put out an extra advertisement to attract more people. It was going to be my first big event. I was very nervous and had worked hard on my presentation all night, and I slept very little. The hands of the clock didn't slow down, and time went by and nobody came. Only our managing director and his wife turned up on time. I couldn't stop staring at the door, at my watch, and at the rows of empty seats. It's probably because of the road condition. People get delayed when the weather is like this. That's how a friend tried to console me. He patted me on the shoulder to try to pep me up. Can 100 people all be late at the same time? Not really. Doubts tumbled around in my head. Maybe I had put down the wrong time on the invitation, or the wrong day, or the wrong address. I hunted for explanations and found none. It was downright depressing. 2 special guests. At that moment, the door opened and my first guest arrived. It was a special guest. First, I saw a woman, and when I did a double take, I saw a man. I remember that he has 2 heads taller than me. He had long blonde hair and was wearing high-heeled boots that were at least size 12. His lips were colored bright red, and his face was covered in a thick layer of foundation to cover up the stubble. He was coming straight towards me. "Hello, my name is Mr. Schuster." Miss Schuster, I'm sorry. His voice was very deep and confirmed my initial thoughts. This was a transvestite. I tried to keep my composure, but at some point, I couldn't hide my laughter and I had to leave the room. I needed a few minutes on my own. I needed time to sort my head out. My second guest was an elderly lady. I had actually invited her daughter. She didn't stay long, only long enough to help park her disabled mother in the first row. Thank goodness that this woman isn't going anywhere fast, was what went through my head at that moment. I would probably not have survived that day without a ration of black humor. 100% success. The elderly lady was adorable, but I noticed immediately how overwhelmed she was by it all. The big room, the long buffet, the dressed up man, and there she was right in the middle of it all. She hadn't been expecting this, and I also hadn't been expecting my first meeting to turn out like this. However, I didn't let myself get distracted and I tried to save what I could. "Let's all get a bowl of soup, sit at a table, and let me tell you what we're going to do," I said. Both of them followed me. Then I told them about the Forever products, the ingenious business idea, and my plans. The same plans that already reached far beyond the German borders. At the end of the day, my success rate was 100%. Both of them registered with Forever. Admittedly, they did not sign up because my presentation was so impressive. They registered because we paid for their taxi home and gave them the entire buffet as a gift. Their fridges were bursting for at least 2 weeks. Since that day, I sponsor at least 2 people for my business, no matter how difficult the situation is. Why am I telling you all this? Because I want to encourage you. I find it hard to believe that anyone could have a more difficult start in this business than I did. Even so, I still made it to the top. You can also get there. Every one of you has the same chance to achieve what I have. The only difference is that I was given the opportunity a few years ago, and now the chance is yours. Coincidence or destiny? I don't believe in coincidences in life. It is not by the chance that you are reading this book, and it was not a coincidence that I got to know forever. Sometimes strange things have to happen before we take a different path or change course. When I read the newspaper article about Forever Living products, my mother had a kidney disease and had been a dialysis patient for many years. My father had cancer. That is, two people who meant the world to me and who have now passed on were fighting health problems. The whole family, all my friends and relatives, were always looking for something that could help my parents and prolong their life. That's when I stumbled upon the Forever products. I sent a fax to US wanting to know more about the company. The next day, Friedhelm Rücker called me and said, "We want to start the Forever business in Germany. If you are up for it, then just drop by." We arranged an appointment in their Frankfurt office, which at that time was still under construction. The 5-minute presentation. Mr. Rücker had been in oil business, and when I asked him about Forever, he said, "Mr. Kipp, I'm new to this too, but we have a brochure. Let's just go over it together." The presentation took 5 minutes and was not exactly what I had been expecting from a managing director of a business that was getting started in Germany. But I knew what I needed to know in a matter of minutes. The way he explained the products was just uncomplicated. "Mr. Kipp, I have been using these products for 14 days. My wife uses them, and so do my kids. They are the best products that we have ever used. You really must try them on out yourself." He said this with so much conviction and enthusiasm that I took his word for it straight away. I left his office that day carrying a box full of jars, tubes, and containers under my arm. If you are not happy with any of the products, then you can give them back within 90 days. He told me on the way out. That was it. No glossy brochures, no lavish presentation, no bragging. It had only taken a few minutes to explain the products and business. Years later, I realized that the essence of the business, that it doesn't become more successful the more you talk about it. On the contrary, it succeeds because it is good. The products don't get any better the longer I talk about them. They are great because they work, and they have worked for more than 30 years. I don't know whether Mr. Rücker had meant to keep his explanation so short back then. I think he unknowingly did exactly the right thing. That is why we should ask ourselves how far we need to go when we recommend a bottle of Forever aloe vera. Is a 90-minute multimedia show really necessary? When I started at Forever, there was no presentation media, no CDs, no DVDs, and my business worked well all the same. These supposedly important things came much later when people stopped believing that it was so easy to make money. Amazing effect. I gave the products to my parents and saw how well they worked. My mother tried out all the creams and lotions because the dialysis was not only ridding her body of toxins, but also depriving it of valuable nutrients. Her skin, once dry and as thin as a parchment paper, looked more vibrant and smoother after only a little while. My father's illness had made him weak, and he also suffered from psychological problems and sleep disorders. Above all, the forever aloe vera gel was good for him. Of course, this could not heal the cancer, but he lived much longer than the doctor has said he would. In other words, both my mother and my father felt a bit better. I also tried the products, but there was not much that needed treating when it came to me. I just noticed that I was jumping a bit higher and running a bit faster. In fact, I can't recall having been ill over the last few years. Books on aloe vera. I bought and read 3 books on aloe vera before I started. That's a must if you are looking for a professional start in this business. Anyone wanting to make referrals about the Forever Living products must know enough about aloe vera. It probably isn't necessary to read every book on the subject, but you should read the 2 or 3 most important ones to get some background. I did ask myself back then whether aloe vera could actually cause damage. After reading the books, I knew that this 5,000-year-old medicinal plant had already helped and not hurt millions of people. That is why we didn't think twice about trying the products ourselves. When I recognized how powerful the plant was, I was inspired by one thought. Everyone needed to know about the Forever Aloe Vera products, but no one knew about them, least of all in Germany. As soon as I started asking people about aloe vera, mostly women, they said, yes, I've heard of it, but doesn't it have something to do with cosmetics? Nobody knew that you could eat or drink aloe vera.
Helen, thank you. Hold on for a second. Please take a break. Thank you for your reading. And I would like to ask you to continue to read. Assistant Supervisor from Brooklyn, Zoya Sergey. Zoya, please continue from this chapter, My Love for the Products.
Yes, hello everyone. My love for the products. In the beginning, I didn't know that Forever would also prove to be extremely lucrative. However, I realized that the products were exceptional and that these products could fit into any household. In other words, I'm a real Forever product child. I fell in love with the products. My parents felt the same way. The love of the products that the 3 of us had was transformed into an organization that now operates around the globe. A shy person. In fact, it wasn't me, but rather my 70-year-old mother who started the business. We registered with Forever, and my mother was the one that told her friends and acquaintances how well the products worked. I must add that my mother was petite, more of a shy person who rarely had the courage to talk to more than 3 people at once. Nonetheless, the business flourished. My father was more reserved to start with. Then he also started spreading the word to friends, relatives, and neighbors, and reported on his own experiences. Looking back, I think that it was exactly this shyness that made her so likable. She was like many of the other people who are afraid of talking in front of others. That's why many people identified with her. Work without end. I was once a sales manager at the world's largest sports equipment manufacturer. I was responsible for 20 sales representatives and earned good money. But I was still far from what I wanted, wished, and imagined to be earning. And I was by no way able to afford the things I wished for. I worked 10, 12, and sometimes even 14 hours a day, 5, 6, and 7, and even 7 days a week. I worked close to Lake Starnberg, and my family lived close to Heidelberg. I only commuted home on the weekends during this time. But even the weekends with my family never normally happened as planned. I was either at sports equipment fairs or perched at my desk. I worked an awful lot and I had no idea where I could find the time to work and earn more money. It would not have been possible. At some point, I realized that I would reach my limits as an employee. No matter how hard I tried, there was no way of earning more than a month's wage. I was ready for something new. I just didn't know what this could possibly be. I must confess, back then I couldn't imagine a future in shampoo, toothpaste, and soap. I worked in management and had a great job title on my business card. In my eyes, Forever had more potential with women that wanted to work from home. My long-term experience had proven that that was a total misconception. There are a lot of men who say that multi-level marketing isn't a serious job. I'm no exception. I once thought the same. Yes, it's true. There are more women working in this business than there are men. As soon as women had the initial success and started earning more, men started working at Forever too. It's the perfect constellation. Couples had a greater chance of success in the multi-level marketing business. An indirect route to qualification. I come from a sales background. I had wanted to become a chef and even started an apprenticeship that only lasted 2 weeks. I still like to cook from time to time, and my experiences back then still help me now. School was constant up and down. Kindergarten and primary school went well. Then I went to junior high school. Unfortunately, I wasn't what I would call a model pupil and had to leave that school in 8th grade. My parents might have thought they were doing me a favor by sending me to vocational school after that. After leaving school, I trained to be a retail salesman. It didn't take me long to realize what that meant: 9 or 10 hours under fluorescent lights and a salary that wasn't even enough for the essentials. And during the training, the pay was nowhere close to what you needed to be able to survive. So I decided to go back to school. First, back to vocational school, and then to a specialized college. I got a diploma in social education. I got an A. I have to admit that I had fantastic teachers who made it easy to get good grades. After, after I graduated, I started studying business management, but that course of studies had almost nothing to do with real life. Well, that's the way I saw it. Anyway, I dropped out at some point and ended up in the sports equipment industry. There, I made my way up the career ladder bit by bit. Financial financial adventure? No thanks. When I first got to know Forever Living, I was standing with both feet on the ground in my job, and I did multi-level marketing on the side. Why? Because in this context, I am typically German and I don't trust anything new. I was not ready for a financial adventure because I had a wife and child to look after and a certain standard of living that I had become accustomed to. Forever was a new kind of business for me. I didn't know how it worked or if it even worked at all. It was all a bit uncertain. There are a number of people in my downline that started out full time at Forever who are now diamond managers. I didn't have the courage for that. The truth is, I wanted to give up the business after only a few weeks. I had, so typical for a salesman, started doing the math. How many tubes of toothpaste do I have to sell to be able to earn the same as I earned in the sports equipment business? In those days, I made about 20,000 German marks and I had a company car. Packages of tubes and jars. I quickly came to realize that even with all the people with teeth I knew, there would never be enough of them to make a business out of it. And what's more, at one point I was only shipping packages of Forever products to friends and relatives. I hadn't really understood how the business worked. I had the misconception that I purchased and then sold the goods. I called the managing director after 2 months and said, Mr. Rucker, I can't do this. I don't have the time to pack 10, 15, or 50, or 20 packages every evening and send them around the country.
Zoe, hold on for a second, please. Thank you for your reading. We're going to stop here and we will continue next webinar, next Monday, to read the following chapters. On the meantime, if anybody has a question or would like to express your opinion, whatever we heard about Rolf Kipp, beginning of his journey with Forever Living product, some housekeeping. You have icon on your panel on your right on the screen with a little hand. Click on the hand and we'll unmute your microphone. Isaac Gilbinovich, please go ahead. Unmute your microphone.
Good evening again, my friends. I just wanted to emphasize one thing when Alex pointed out that Ralph Kipp joined the Forever business after 17 years of company's existence. So why am I saying it? Because a lot of times I heard, oh yeah, of course, everything is already taken. You'll be on the bottom. Okay, if you join now, you'll be in the bottom all your life because everybody's on top already who joined before. But the funny thing is that, as Alex said, Ralph Kipp joined 17 years after the company was created. So there were people much more successful at the time, but he outperformed them. So he became number one after there were number ones before him. So it's not when you join, it's what you do after you join.
First of all, thank you, Isaac. Second of all, it's a very, very valuable point. We have many, many examples when people who joined Forever did better than his or her sponsor after some period of time. I just would like to emphasize that you can do this business full-time, you can do this business part-time, but you cannot do this business sometime. You have to be persistent, and Ralph Kipp, in this book, he is going to share all his experience, how he did it, how many hours he works, and after 5 years, he became a millionaire. After 5 years, it was not a coincidence, of course. It was very hard work. Anybody else? I don't want to be a speaker today at all. I would like to somebody.
Alex,
Yes,
sorry, I just found out that my picture is like Imogen. I don't know because but I'm here. I've been here.
unbelievable. I call you. I saw Imogen picture. What happened? You
I
exchanged
didn't
the
even
picture.
realize it was her picture. I think because we did the log on and it was, I don't know, her email, I don't know. But I was surprised that I was like, I cannot see my name and now it's me. Okay. So I want to share something about what we read now. I think it's very like, it touched a lot of points in our initial start. It's like brought us back to where we started. And then even the way he's telling his story, like some of them are really like low points, and you would think that it's going to be hard for me to recover from that one, especially his first big event, and he's working full-time job. So it's very relatable how he's doing it. And if you don't know Rolf Kipp now, you would not think that he passed through this kind of stage. And the way he's explaining it from his heart, you kind of picture yourself in his shoes. So it's very, like, it's very relatable how he's explaining and how he's encouraging people to do it, because he's been in our shoes. He just wants us to be in his shoes now, where he achieved success, being after, passing all through these trials in the initial of the book. So it's very relatable. That's what I want to say.
Absolutely. Thank you, Iris. Thanks a lot. Anybody else? Any other questions? Okay, I have two surprises for everyone. Give me a second, please. I would like to show something on the screen. Isaac, I need your help, please. What do you see on the screen right now?
I still see the book.
Okay, good. Just 1 second, please. What do you see on the screen now?
Darren Hardy, 22 lessons.
Okay, I created file about these 5 lessons from last Monday up to Monday today. So if it was a piece of work, but I made it for everybody. And if you would like to get it, very simple. It will be free, but you have to send me in the mailing request, because I don't want to send it to anybody, to everybody without knowledge. They would know what this is about. But I would highly recommend you to watch Darren's Hardy video. It's available on his website from my show. I show on the beginning of this session. It's number 1. Number 2, hold on, please. I disappear. I closed by accident. But let me show you something very easy. On the Google, Isaac, tell me, let me know what do you see on the screen.
Firefox.
Okay. Rolf Kipp. Can you see it?
Yes.
RKIPP, like KEEP.
No, I mess it up.
It's the KIPP.
KIPP, of course.
Yeah.
Double P, of course. Very simple. Very simple. I should go to Google. I did it before and I closed this window by accident because I was prepared for webinar to show you how easy to find information about Rolf Kipp and his success with Forever Living product. Give me another minute, please. Very quick.
Alex, are you looking for the monthly income? I saw it there in your list.
Where did you see it?
No, when you were typing Rolf Kipp up before, then it shows like monthly income 2021. Was that the one you were searching before? Yeah, it was just on the Google. Not this one, Rolf KIPP. There you go. Stop.
I
You
see.
see?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. His monthly income was showed right here. Top 2021. Monthly income. $900,000. That's a story about Ralph Kipp and his journey. So just Google it and do your homework and you will be amazed. But in the book, much more specific details for us to explore. And we should be able to discuss it because it's for everybody. But of course, we have to be persistent. Okay, anybody else? I didn't see any hands. Thank you, readers. Isaac. Thank you, Helen. Thank you, Zoe. And thank you, Iris. Don't hide for under picture of imaging next time.
I will not. I will correct it. I think
Just
because I
jokes.
logged in her thing and then I didn't realize it was still
All right,
on.
no
Okay.
problem. Again, happy and healthy new year, everyone. I'll talk to you next Monday. You should have this recorded webinar on my YouTube channel. You could review it at any given time. Thank you. Take care. Bye-bye.